to ESC Fan TV. Let's start with Lithuania. Let's have a look at the ones that didn't qualify.
So sing this 7 days, drifting through the heavens where dreams begin. Never have a reason to run without you. I feel better, I just don't know how to make it seem like I ain't trying to be nobody's baby trophy wife. Like the land where I will grow. I am not perfect.
Let's go to Paul and Andrew first. What did you think of the ones that didn't qualify?
All the right ones did qualify, and that's what I can say. The ones that didn't qualify, wasn't the best of national fight or heat, shall we say. Wasn't really very impressed with the first one. Freya Ali, for example, she was like, I don't know, just quite a poor vocal, really. I put like your mum singing to you at bedtime.
I actually quite liked that, but I just thought it was a bit retro and just a sort of like. I think the other thing with the sort of like the just because we were very sort of like thorough. We made lots of lists and everything because we were watching them all. To me, a lot of the songs were very pleasant, but forgettable. There was no sort of like reason to actually vote for them, if that makes sense.
I bet, Matt, I reckon that there's at least two in there that you thought were all right.
Yes, I quite like Trophy Wife. As soon as I heard that, I thought of you, Michelle. I really like that one. I thought that one was really different, quite unique. I quite like the dancing on that one, quite risque as well. And I quite like Petrus Run. I thought that was quite catchy. I liked when he had his shirt off. I think he had a good voice. I think in general, I think a lot of the staging it's almost like Lithuania just can't be asked this year. I think with a lot of the songs, the staging was quite dull, quite boring. There wasn't really much going on. And I think if there was more things going on, it would have made a few of them better.
Donna, what did you think of it?
Not the strongest of heats, this one, unfortunately. And I've been quite a champion of these on occasion. I thought Cairo was probably one of the better ones, although given a better staging, it could have actually worked quite well. It just looked a bit lifeless and static. Yeah, I thought her vocals sounded a little Tori Amos at times. So there's quality there. It just needed tweaking, I think. Freya Ali had potential as well. I mean, she actually seemed to think about her staging a little bit more, but her vocal was really off, which is just a shame. Then, Trophy Wife. I also thought of you, Michelle. But it was something a little different and it kind of stood out a lot more. But yeah, she just needed more experience, I think, that way.
Let's go to Sean. Sean's always got something nice to say about everybody.
I love how everyone's been saying it's not the strongest of heats for 5 weeks in a row now. So love it. So song one, Freya Ali, serenade. Now I don't know what they did between her VT that they did to promote her earlier and then when she arrived on stage, but between one and the two, they made her look like Margarita Prakatan. Do you remember her? There's one from the youth. Hello, Margarita Prakatan. I hope people know that what I'm talking about. It was a really melancholic song, beautifully sung, I thought, but just a little tad on the boring side. Caro, Weightless. Look, I didn't watch this heat live completely because obviously Melfest takes priority for me. But I just found this a bit uninteresting. So we're fast forwarding it to see if there was anything interesting that would happen in the song, and it didn't. Petrus and Run. Now, the first 30 seconds were a bit slow, and then it speeded up, and it sounded really promising. But again, it just really didn't go anywhere. Just Run Without You quite repetitively. And it just stood on the spot for almost the entirety of the song. And I kind of wanted him to move around a little bit, be full of energy, energize, fill the stage and just get us, win us over. But nothing happened. I just wanted to get hot and sweaty. Can't think why.
Phil, what did you think?
I've just put, oh, Frey Alley. It's a bit of a slow piano ballad. April Frey, another slow piano ballad, maybe a little bit more miserable. Lena Stelletti or whatever, that was another slow piano ballad. Caro, oh, that was a slow ballad but with guitars instead of pianos. So yeah, Trophy Wife was probably my favourite, but even then I thought the sort of performance was better than the song. It wasn't much of a tune.
Should we have a look at who did qualify?
Now I'm fine. I'm in love with my own simple joy. Yeah, play the drums. Shout it out and be the burning flame.
So we had The Roop with Simple Joy, and we had Queens of Roses with Walk Through Fire. So obviously we know The Roop represented them in 2020 when it with On Fire, when obviously it didn't happen, and so they went in 2021 with Discotheque. So we're going to go to Andy first. Andy, what do you think of Simple Joy compared to the other Roop sort of songs that we're used to?
I like the Roop,
Ooh.
actually. I think it's a little bit different. But the title reminds me, it's not that self-pleasuring, or is that just me? Yeah, all right, it's just me. It's good. Look, the thing about Lithuania is that they let almost anybody onto the show to do it. It's very democratic. So if you're a musician, as I am, I'm a very amateur musician. If you're in Lithuania, you basically, you're invited along, come and perform, come and try and represent your country. So there's going to be a load of them that are not going to get anywhere, but it's nice that they're allowed to. It's either that or you go the other way, which is like San Remo, where you have to be a really top star. But it's nice when people are encouraged to take part.
Well,
Well, I've got to say the two that went through are probably two of the strongest in the entire Lithuanian competition this year. I really do. It's a decent song. I think if it wasn't for the charisma and personality of Vaidotas, it'd be boring because it's not as strong as On Fire and it's not as strong as Discotheque, I don't think, as an entry for the Roop. It's a slightly different style for them, what we're used to as Eurovision fans and seeing them on a Eurovision stage. I don't think it's as strong as the other two. Now, Queen of Roses, Walk Through Fire, well, finally something to get my attention, to get my feet tapping. I love the funky disco vibe to the song. It was well sung, it was well performed. Lithuania, send this, because it's my favourite of the whole series. Do it. I love it.
Phil, what do you think of the qualies?
I'm going to say, yeah, the Roop were the Roop. It was definitely deserved to qualify, as did Queens of Roses.
Well, with the Roop, I couldn't get over the staging. I was really distracted by the fact he was wearing a green cardi with shorts and long socks. And I'm like, well, is he hot or is he cold? It's what's going on. And the green was like, it's like, when you're poorly and you blow your nose, it's that colour green. And it was just so off-putting. I don't think the song is as strong as the other two songs that they've had. It is a change of pace for them, which normally I sort of don't mind, but it was just a bit, I don't know, it just didn't quite fit somehow with what was going on. But Queens of Roses, I thought it was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. I think it's far better than the Roop's offering. I think there might be a bit of a surprise in Lithuania. We go to Matt. Matt, what do you think of the qualies?
So I think the ones that qualified, I thought were a lot better than the ones that didn't. But I thought with the Roop, I just thought, for me, it felt like a song that was just like a new song off their album rather than something they actually wanted to enter for Eurovision. But Queens of Roses, I really like that one. And I think this was one of the best songs in their national final so far. I love their voices. It's sort of a bit sort of 70s, 80s, and I think this could really stand out at Eurovision, because I think this year a lot of countries seem to be sending like a bit of dance and things like that. And I think Queens of Roses, that it could stand out, and it might do all right for Lithuania. So yeah, I think out of all their songs, they should send Queen of Roses, I think.
Next, we'll go to Paul and Andrew. Paul and Andrew, do you think the Roop song is as strong as their previous ones?
I love the Roop. Absolutely love the Roop song. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. To me, it was a song where it looked like the song was written before the dance, rather than what I've got from the previous entries, where it was the dance, then how do we fit a song around us. So I absolutely loved that song. I just thought it was gentle. It was just flowing. It was just a terrific song. Queen of Roses, I thought it had a good beat. They sang it incredibly well, but there was no tune. It was just driven by drum beats. There was no sort of like actual up and down melody.
I'm the same with the Roop. I've never really been a Roop fan. In the last 2 times they've entered, I've not really understood the hype behind it and the reason why everybody kind of liked it. I never really understood that. However, this song, I just thought it was great, catchy, a few more dance moves from him. I completely agree with the green jumper thing, Michelle. I like that. And the Queens of Roses, again, I thought that was great. I thought it was really good. Disco bop.
Donna, what did you think of these two?
Let's start with the Roop then. So I'm not even going to compare it to the last two, because it's still more of their style. And anyone who's actually listened to any of their back catalogue can see it's sort of the next evolution that they're going through. It's very much a song that they have sort of produced before, so it's not totally new left field off the wall, but they have stripped it back a lot, and that's sort of in keeping with the theme of the song. You've still got a kind of a moral message in there as well, and I'm not too keen on the whole look that he's presenting at the minute, but all he needs is the sandals now to go with the socks. Yeah, it's those pleasurable things, I guess, that you expect people to judge you about, and you just find fun in a funky cardi and some like quilted shorts and wearing long socks at the same time. I don't know. The whistling won't appeal to everybody, I don't think, and it does allow a little bit of a dance break, but they've stripped it back. They've got rid of a lot of the dancey bits that sort of people hooked onto rather than song, I think, this time. So it's going to be a different entry from them if they manage to get through. But again, there are other songs that could easily compete with this. So not necessarily saying it's their strongest song, because it's a different song. It's a different style of song from them. But yeah, I thought it was very good, and it was clearly head and shoulders for me above any of the others in this particular heat. So how it'll do in the final, we'll just have to wait and see next week. Queen of Roses for me, I'm going to say I didn't really like it. I'm sorry. I'm going to go against everybody else. I thought it was dull. It was generic. It was similar to a lot of Swedish pop, which I'm not saying is inoffensive, but it's just not really my bag. And yeah, there was a quality there. The girls had obviously put in an effort with the basic choreography. They're in time. Their harmonies were okay. So yeah, out of the rest of the bunch, they deserve to go through to the final.
Should we do a thumbs up or a thumbs down, or I don't know? Do we think, I think I know the answer to this, do we think the best two qualified? Do we think either of these two are going to win the national final?